There we go. Okay, we're back, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just get some confirmation in the chat there. If anyone's watching, there's no one yet because the stream is down.
3 watching.
Apparently. 3.
Watching.
Have we got the right one? Oh, it's the other one. Shit. All right.
What?
Fuck.
What is going on?
Yeah, we've done 2. Okay, there we go. We are back online, ladies and gentlemen. A few little technical bugs, and it wouldn't be the opening round of the Wednesday Cup without it, really. So, welcome to everyone who's not familiar with the Wednesday Cup scene. But you do get a few little bugs in the old technical department here when you deal with online racing. Dead set, this being one of them. But luckily, we are still out there for free practice. But what are we doing now? We're going to go and have a look at tonight's format. Jeez, it's absolutely rattled me, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen.
It is Laguna Seca. Finally, we get it up there. It's we're over in the USA, 3.6 kilometers, only 11 turns, but maybe a couple more because these American tracks, they like to name their corners 8 and 8A, which makes no sense. Why not 8 and 9? But I guess they're still stuck on the old imperial method of measurement, while the rest of the world is doing better. Here is qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. 8 minutes. Race 1, 2, and 3 being 15, 16, and 17 minutes, respectively, with the top 10 reverse grid in race 2, top 15 race reverse grid in race 3. The fastest this week was Ben Hines with a 1:28.2. That is pretty much exactly the time that he has set here in free practice mode as well. So, he is rip-roaring and ready to go. Scotty Garrick's behind him, but just by a whisker. Up. Tonight is shaping up to be an absolute cracking opening round here in the Toyota SFR, Zachariah.
Absolutely there, Christopher. Look at the gaps there on the screen. You can see. In fact, Chris, can you please get the Discord up again because it's gone. But the gaps are now very, very close. Scotty Garrick has just come in with a 28.382. So he's split Matt Munro and Mick Mallow there on the grand scheme of things as well. So it is tight. Not even a second between 1st and 10th at the moment. That is going to be close. And even the mid-pack as well. You've got people lapping within the 1 minute 30s all the way down to 132s for the first guys. And this is going to be a belter tonight here, Christopher Munro. I think these guys have had enough practice, though, however. What do you think?
I think so. I think it's time to chuck them into the pit of qualifying. And let's see what they can do when the money is where their mouths are.
Yep, get it on the table, boyos out there racing. Put your money where your mouth is. Pull out the old third leg, show each other how big it is or small it is, and get yourselves ready to rock and roll because Wednesday Cup Season 17 is about to kick off with qualifying coming your way. An 8 minute swing around the Laguna Seca circuit, and these guys are going to get ready for that. So go get those condiments refilled, get yourselves strapped in, and set yourselves up for a belter of a Season 17 opening round here at Wednesday Cup. AK Racing's premier midweek series is going to be right here for you in just a hot second.
All right, we're back on track now, ladies and gentlemen. Everything's just deciding to bite the dick here tonight. It's killing me. Let's see if I can get all the things up that I had before.
Pit lane is right there, Mr. Munro, where everyone's single filing up.
On there. Goodness.
It did, mate. We actually said it, so, you know.
Same as it's always been. But these the guys are out there ready to go. I can't see who is at the front of the line there.
It's Matthias Falzon there, Mr. Munro.
The flying the flying Falcon from Malta is out there, dead set, ready to go. And he's going to be, I reckon, he's going to be a smoky in this season. As Dean Hanley said in the chat earlier on, they have got some quality drivers down there in this server here tonight. It's going to be a spicy one.
Oh, yeah, very spicy. We've got just about 10 seconds to go here before they start to go. People not knowing where the white line is at pit exit. My goodness gracious me. But they're about to get going and set, and the dark horse is about to start. Matthias Falzon is going to take the P1 provisionally there for it. And while these guys are doing some hot laps, they're going to get through some of the newbies out there on the stream there and on the racetrack there, Christopher Munro, as well. We have got one Tommy Corks out there with the most creative and blinding livery I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Look at that thing.
That thing there, if you don't have your Polaroids on while you are racing, you are dead set going to be blinded by this man. But it is sensational to see. And that is what we want. We've got a couple more there as well on the stream. Let me get to them before they get their laps out. Holy mackerel, it's all happening in the commentary box. We've got Remo Grand in there as well. He's rocked up. He's sitting there beautifully. We've got Colton Atkins actually as well as another one. We've got Ash Conan there too, the number 29 in there. We've got Carl Geetsman has come in once again. We've got Rob Priest as well sitting there. We've got Lee James, also Kai Opida as well, or Jupiter for short. We're going to call him the planet for that one. And then there's a couple more there. If I've missed them, I forget about them, and I'm sorry, but we all know you're there. Conan as well, the big ranger sitting behind Tommy Corks there too. So big shout out to these guys, and watch them improve over the season, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a big field, and a lot of drivers are going to get themselves up onto the pace department for the remainder of the season, Christopher.
They sure are, but it's time to go for a bit of a hot lap around Laguna Seca in these beautiful little race cars as they pass the start-finish line, heading up to the top of the hill before it tips away and then slots down into the braking zone here, where it's a little double apex into turns 1 and 2 as Matthias Falzon here taking the tight line there as well, running it right out to the side of the track. That's where you want it to be. And this I've always found is a bit of an awkward one here at turn 3. You can't attack it as hard as you feel like you can, but this one you certainly can. It's just hit the apex and bloody hold onto the steering wheel, white knuckle that thing, keep the foot fed, and you'll be loving life there. Now the another little sort of double apex up the corner, up the hill. You really need your momentum too in these lower powered vehicles too, so you don't want to be over braking yourself going up through here. But through the kink, that's always a hell of a lot of fun as the suspension gets pushed right into the rods and you feel it through your steering wheel. Now the infamous, well, it's the Timu Dipper we call it, but it's the corkscrew here at Laguna Seca. They go down and up and through the bloody roundabout and the roller coaster there. Now it's all downhill, and try to spot your apex. It's a game of patience through these couple of turns, and then this one's always fun because you've got the camber to help you on your side. The gravity pushes you into the track, and then you've got one more turn to navigate. It's the final, slightly less than a hairpin, but it's still quite difficult. You get slowed right up, and then it's just a jet set down the main straight, and Matthias Falzon passes the start-finish line first to get a 128.6. Wowee, that is pretty quick. 4/10 off the best that these guys have been doing over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, Benny Hines has come in. Fabian Fitness also now goes into 28s as well. Benny Hines also in the 28s. McEwen in the 29 dead zone. Matt Munro with a 29.2 also. So the times are flooding in here, ladies and gentlemen. They better hurry up because 4.5 minutes left in this one. They haven't got much lap time to go. They've probably got a good 3 or so flyers here to get themselves filled up And with 390 odd horsepower underneath the hood, this is nothing to shy about in these cars. I'm guaranteeing you that much. A lot of different lines to take through. As you can see here, Scotty Holly, one of the new boys as well. Forgot to mention him. He is now flying around, sitting in 11th place at the moment. Not a bad showing here from him as well. So good start for that. But a bit of understeer. You can see that just washing out there for him. He's going to learn the lines and learn to be patient around this circuit. Look at the steering lock on that thing too, just hammering it and white knuckling it, as Chris said, through there. That is the only way to do it. Falzon still on top with a 1:28.644. We're going to see times come around in about a minute or so time here to see what the genuine pace here is of the rest of the field. And a good showing here from Scotty, doing a great job sitting outside the top 10 at the moment. And so is Remo Grant. He's going to get on his horse as well. A couple of guys here from the other server that we love to call Rangar, but they are 100% on a different sponsorship here tonight, Christopher. It's great to see them, and these boys will be going for the biggest win. You can see them. They're Speed Nation. They are your suppliers of Thrustmaster, Moser, Next Level Racing rigs as well, controls, you name it, they're there. They've got the best prices and the best guarantees out there. So don't you go anywhere. Watch out for those yellow and white cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And
orange,
keep it orange and white. It's all good. We're 80% of the male population are colourblind. So throw any colours out there. It doesn't matter. It's a good-looking vehicle either way. It's a good-looking time at the top of the tower as well by our resident Wednesday Cup wizard, Alex McEwen. He's gone to 28.1, and he's gapped the field by 8/10 at the moment. Ben Hines is the next one there on the track. Oh, sorry, no, we haven't. We've collapsed the timing tower. Still 5/10 to Matthias Falzon. Where is our season 16 champion? Here he is here, Fabian Fitness, with a ripping livery as well. Look at that, the carbon fibre with the old what do you call it, the fern, the gold fern on there for the champion. No silver, it's all gold for Fitness there. So he'll be looking to keep that trend going into season 17 here. But look how tight it is from pretty much him all the way down to Tommy Corks in 6th. A 10th covers about 4 or 5 cars there as well. Let's have a look down the order at some of these other new drivers here as well. Here's one of them, Colton Atkins, there in the Greek Goddess, or the Greek God livery, should I say, getting up on 2 wheels as well. So leaving nothing to the imagination there. He's gone a few little micro sectors green as well, so could be on for an improvement. But as you can see in your map down the bottom right-hand corner, it's a busy circuit out here at Laguna Seca here tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely no room whatsoever. It's a battle of track space in there, and you can see that other competitors trying to get some suckage down the front straightaway to improve, and Colton Atkins did improve with a 1:31.9, but still below the top 20 at the moment for him. It's just going to be an education session for him to get himself up to speed. Joshy Sadler's involved in this one too. Hello there, good old mate. Hopefully you're having a good time out there tonight. Another gentleman from Speed Nation there as well. We've got 7 of them, I think, on track for the season here, Christopher Munro.
Yeah.
So it's a Speed Nation domination, in fact. But Alex McEwen has not been beaten. Matthias Falzon hasn't improved anywhere on the time tower as well, and that timing tower has just stayed stagnant for the last couple of laps here with 46 seconds left in this one. What can the haircut produce? Holy mackerel, haircut. You got to get quicker there, son. You're usually up there somewhere in the top 15. Benny Hines is in 6th. Nick Mello on screen right now is setting some purple micro sectors and some greenies. So he's going to set a better time here. How much further can it push him up the grid at this stage? We'll find out in about 4 seconds' time as he comes across the line right about now and goes bang for a P1. 28.165. His teammate in the V8 Supercars is only a B's dick behind him, but he's taken the P1 here under the weather and recovering. Nick Mallow, he's singing to the high heavens here at the moment. Cracking drive. Benny Hines hasn't improved. He's got 1 more lap to go. Falzon's going to have 1 more lap to go, I reckon, here too. This is the dying stages of qualifying. And I'll tell you what, the track space out there, I'm looking on the other screen, people are dicing like they're racing already.
Yeah, they may as well, because this will be the last lap for most of them out there anyway. So they're all going to throw the kitchen sink at it and just try to scurry through and get as many positions up on the order as they can. As I've always said in the past, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get your overtaking done in the race, you're best off doing it first in qualifying, because that just makes your job so much easier. But Hayden Wallace has finished already his qualifying session down there in 9th position. Sarge Illich will clock out in 10th. Nathan Hughes in 11th. Where's Fabian Fitness is off the track, so he's had enough as well. He's down there in 6th. Wow, it's a competitive season this time around. Here's Nick Mello going around for the last time for him. Goes purple in the 2nd sector, and he still looks like he's pushing hard. So maybe on for an improvement here as well. I fear the only one that's going to have the pace to beat him here is probably his V8 teammate in Alex McEwen. But we'll see once he gets around this final turn here at Laguna Seca. Gets a little bit wobbly out of the final turn. That's probably going to cost him when it comes down to the final last push up the hill. It has cost him, but he still goes provisional pole here, waiting on Alex McEwen now to come around for the final time. He will cross the line now. It doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement, and he goes 2nd provisionally. Who else is out there? Tommy Corks in the crow. He's out there chroming. I can't see his car anywhere. I think he's just pulled it back into the pit lane. He has, and that's pretty much everyone. Gray Ward parks it on the main straight there as well in his car there. They say as Inc. And that looks like that's the whole field done and dusted. Geez, that was quick. Nick Mello starts off pole position. Takes first blood in Wednesday Cup Series 17. So that's one we didn't expect to see. Nick Mello, I think he was a bit under the weather, Zach O'Reilly. Last I spoke to him. Yeah.
He was as sick as Freddie Mercury in his last stages, I reckon. He sounded horrible on the chat when he was talking to us. Didn't know what he had, but he's recovering, and look at what it's doing to him. He's found some talent, and he's beaten his teammate Alex McEwen there. Definitely cracking stuff from him. That man on your screen right there is one man to beat for the season as well. Don't you shy away from that gentleman there as well. Going through the liveries, great stuff there. And Chris's CSP is doing what it did on Sunday night and deleting all the times as they go out.
Yep.
So we've got no idea, but we know that it's a P1 and 2 for Alex McEwen and Nick Mello starting off P1 for the next one. So without further ado, let's get this thing going on. Oh, stream issues now. We are all ready to go. The boys are getting heated up in the general chat there. They're psyched up. Hopefully you viewers are psyched up as well at home here. This is Wednesday Cup Season 17. Race 1 out of 3 is about to kick off. Software.
I've restarted it. We're away.
Yep. I'll just mute me still.
Back on circuit now, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Captain Sandbag on your screens there, the number 04. Nick Mello, let's get a closer look at this livery there. He's got like the Japanese art-inspired backdrop there with the FUIC, his main sponsor there, the Farmers Union iced coffee. And it's a nice little livery there. I've got a tattoo similar, actually, Zach O'Reilly.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. I'll tell you what, Mumble needs a tattoo of the live stream going up as well, because it's not there at the moment. But I'll tell you what, with these boyos ready to rock and roll once again, this is dying stages and dying moments for these gentlemen. And with the racing coming their way very shortly, it's a 15-minute, and it is where men start to thrive and the boys start to take over the testosterone department. And I reckon with a minute 18 and 17 seconds left to go now, it is starting to get a little bit sweaty on those palms there as well for these gentlemen. So let's get cracking. Let's get these Toyotas off and racing for season 17. And again, Munro, please, if you could get the live up for me on the Discord, that'd be great.
Certainly can.
That'd be great. But with 58 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, we need your predictions in the chat out there. Liam Handley's in there. Dean Handley's in there. Brendan Hartley's in there as well. We've got James Pedersen involved too. Banana Rama's in there. Cracking stuff from all of you guys and anyone else out there who is still yet to get involved. Get involved in the chat. Talk some smack. Get us in there and we'll count it down and reply to you mid-race. But the racing's about to start. We've got 34 seconds to go, Christopher.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Who is going to take the whole shot there? Nick Mello starting off pole position. He's got McEwen on his outside there by about, a car and a half difference there. So that might just be the difference. But we've seen in the past, McEwen is a specialist off the start of the line there. So we'll see who can get through, and if the field can get through unscathed as well. It's the first time a lot of these guys have raced against each other, so they will be feeling each other out for sure. But we're about to go racing now for the first time in Season 17 here at the Wednesday Cup, and smoke flies out the wheels of all of these little Toyotas as they head up the hill for the very first time. And as I thought, McEwen's got a pretty good start there off the line. There is a slight overlap, but Mello has the advantage of being on the inside. They're going 3 wide behind. That's Garrick. Falzon. Fitness there just getting a little bit of a bump as well, but manages to claw it back as we watch the field go streaming through between turns 2 and 3 here, and everyone's still facing the correct way. Great to see that massive field of cars. Look at how many of them there are. Oh, holy. But here's Alex McEwen right up the back of Nick Mello here. Looking defensive goes Mello here into turn 6, and it is station's hold here for the time being, but a little bit of a touch there from McEwen. He's not mucking around here. He's not going to wait on. So Mello just looking defensive in this first stanza here. It's round 1 here at Laguna Seca. Jesus Christ, it's all happening here.
Oh, look at him go for it. You can see McEwen just biding his time. He's going to wait for Mallow to make a mistake there and hopefully take it. Look at them all dart through that corkscrew. You can see there that blinding chrome there of Tommy Vaughns going through. We've got 4 or 5 cars wide there coming out of the exit, taking advantage. Some guys getting through cleanly. In fact, this is probably the cleanest opening lap I've ever seen in Wednesday Cup.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everyone involved. Nick Mallow, McEwen out P1 and 2. Look at this battle here. We've got Wallace and Corks going at each other. Now the livery there of Tommy Corks blinding William Wallace out of anything at the moment. He's got Dale Clerk climbing all over the back of him now too because of that bad exit. Holly and Nick Mole have gone down a bit in the field there too. They're swapping places. Craig Ward's got a promotion, but at the moment the battle is still on for P1 and 2. Look at that. That was massive there from Benny Hines and Scotty Garrick. In fact, Fitness was off the field. No, that was Matthias Falzon off the field and came back on. And Scotty Garrick's been promoted 1. Fabian nearly got took out once again by Falzon in this one. And they're going hammer and tong. Look at the run up the arse of everyone now. Falzon very, very driving defensively there, but Fitness, the aggressor in this opening stanza once again. Beautiful stuff. And look at that for a dive under brakes there. That was Scotty Garrick and Benny Hines having a crack. Benny Hines has gone up the inside here, I reckon, at the moment. No, it's Falzon, in fact. He's going up the inside of Fitness. Whoa. And look at them touch wheels and doors. Oh, massive. Oh, no, nearly a touch.
Here comes Munro.
They've held on. Here comes Matt Munro around the outside. Lewis Hamilton style there. Dead set. Piss poor effort from everyone else, but Matt Munro took that by the horns and said, I'll take P5 off you blokes, you keep fighting, and Tommy Corks has involved himself in this one.
Yeah, dead set, just took advantage of that, but now Fitness is all over the back of him here, maybe going for a little bit of a dive up here into turn 10. Oh, Matty turn 10, that was very ordinary there from Fabian Fitness, just plowing into the side of the number 7. He botched bright green livery, and Matt Munro drops down to 12th or 13th position here. Is Fabian Fitness pulling over to redress? He is. There he is, just going very slowly up the main straight, dropping down, trying to find that bright blue car that was involved in the incident. But that's what you want to see here in Wednesday Cup, folks. When you do make a mistake, you do redress and just get that little apology out of the way in the chat, and you guys are free to go racing again.
Yeah, well, looks like he did redress for a little bit, but he's still sitting in 9th versus Matt Munro in 12th. So he thought it was coming, and then that was too bad for Fitness. So a bit of a warning there for him. Fitness is now redressing a little bit more, in fact, because Matt Munro's right there. So he did in the end. Hats off to him. Matt Munro be spewing. He was on there for a podium nearly. I'll tell you what, the red mist is starting to get through that the old Hong Kong white mist there in Matt Munro's VR headset. But he's driving really well now. He's going to get right up on Nathan Hughes as well. Gray Ward's in the battle of his... Oh, no! Dead set disaster there. That is Ward off. That was also Holly also too. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Paul Buddington nearly sailed off into the sunset. He pulled it up in the sand there. Oh, geez, that was absolute disaster. That's poor old Sam Holly going the wrong way there. Gray Ward's come out of that a lot better than Sam has. He's sailing down to 23rd at the moment. Still a good 5th or 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th last, actually. There's 34 cars on the track here. Ezra Simons is doing a great job. Dead set 34 in the Fair Dingham Races department. This is incredible stuff. Have a look at them all cracking onto each other.
Oh, it's unreal. It's like you see down at the bar at 3 in the morning there. Everyone's having a crack, dead set. Whatever it looks like now, whether the gap's there or not, they're going for it. It's I don't know what happened there with Ward and Holly, but I think there was just a couple of blokes going for the same bit of road, and maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Looks like 3 cars, 3 white. Oh, there's a police car. Who's in that? Sarge Illich. Some of these liveries are fantastic as well. Here goes Greater X looking around the outside of Paul Buttigieg. Let's get a better view of that. Ends up losing out a little bit, and Adkins maybe chiming in. But look at this, Greater X with the drive off the corner. Oh, no. Buttigieg's turned in there. There was a car there. I don't know. They're probably both at fault, but there goes Greater X with the redress. Perfectly done. That's how you do it. Ideally, you shouldn't have to redress if you don't make an issue. So if you try and not make contact, then you don't have to worry about redressing.
Yeah, well, I think I'll give credit to Greater X. I think Paul Buttigieg got the blinkers on big time because he was right up there and just dead set turned in. But that's what racing is. It's a rate of attrition here, ladies and gentlemen. The lead has changed. McEwen has got in front of Nick Mallow by a good 8 or 9 tenths now. So we missed that one in the battling up and down the field. 35 cars. You just can't keep up here. It doesn't matter how many people have got going on. But anyway, look at them all stream through here. Fantastic amount of colours on the field. Munro's on the plough. He's gone through. He's passed Argelic. He's in the top 10 once again, hoping to get himself inside the top 5 by the end of this one, but he's got a fair mountain to climb with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left. There's a big gap between Dion and Hayden Wallace between 7th and 8th. So it's all to go here. Scotty Holly is in the battle of life at the moment because up the inside goes Atkins. No, it was Atkins getting overtaken by Holly, in fact.
Yeah.
And Scotty's got the position there of 17 and racing his way through the field, just showing what he can do in the racing compared to qualifying. This man will show us what he can do through the rest of the season. Fantastic driving from the big man. Yeah,
on a bit of the comeback trail as well. We saw him just 2 laps ago get tangled up with Gray Ward as well, so he's probably a bit further down than he should be anyway on pace, so he gets a bit of overtaking practice coming up as well. Here's another man we've seen in a bit of a tangle up. This is Lucas Greater X. He's got Paul Buttigieg. Oh no, that's Adkins off the road there, and just manages to avoid these 3 cars coming through there on the outside. But he's got a bit of a good run here on Paul Buttigieg, and he'll just slide up the inside here, easy as you like. But Buttigieg's going to try and argue the point around the outside. Actually gets a fantastic run, and he's going to maybe even make the overtake up here on Brody Barber up through the kink. This is dangerous. They both come together, but Barber just keeps it somehow pointing the right direction, and now he's vulnerable there to Greater X, who's coming up at a rate of knots and goes down through the dipper first, gets through it, albeit a bit wide. Here comes Atkins as well. Geez, the boys down here are fighting like they're battling for a championship on the very last round here for Sheep Station. It's all happening. Let's have a look up the front here because Benny Hines has caught up to Nick Mallow as well.
Yeah, Nick Mallow and Alex McKeown having a good tussle, but I think Benny's just found the rhythm, found that flow that you want to get in, that flow state, as Ayrton Senna used to say. He just gets in that state of mind and nothing matters around him. It just at one with the car. Looks like Benny is doing a great job of that and sailing right up behind Nick Mallow's clacker, 0.2 of a second for him. Dion Clerk as well, really racing well. Him and Nathan Hughes are having a tussle, and Matt Munro again has taken 2 positions in 2 laps, so he is well and truly on the charges. Matt Munro at the moment, 4.2 seconds to anyone in front of him, so he's just got to get his eyes forward and race. That is a big move up on the underneath, braking there for Fabian. He's also trying to advance through the field with that man in the turquoise car up in front of this battle pack. 4 or 5 laps ago, and he's just sailed up the inside, but he's made an error. He's sailed wide. That's it. Too bad for Fabian. Just too hot on the throttle pedal and just understeered, but kept it out of the gravel there. Luckily for him, because he would have been back by 5 seconds after that misdemeanor. The gravel out there stops you like a brick wall. I can guarantee you that, speaking from experience. However, another newbie here, Lee James, just biding his time. He's just got another beautiful run up the hill. He saw there that Brody Barber went too wide. He's taken an overtake and got the job done excellently there. Cody Atkins did the same thing as well. Touch as well. Oh, geez. Atkins has just managed to keep that together, and poor old Lee James has lost another place that he just gained there. Oh, that was disaster for the big man. He's got to keep himself involved in this one. Keep it up there, son. You'll be right there. You'll be right up there. Don't you worry about that at the moment. You are only 13th last, so that's a good place to be on the debutante race.
Yeah, absolutely. He had it all there to go for too, and these 2 guys in front of him are dead set battling it out here in Barber and Atkins, so that's going to draw him right back into it. We might even ride on board with Lee James and see what he can do here, because those 2 guys in front of him, side by side, Atkins, Barber, Atkins. Who's going to have a crack? Barber's on the inside in the grey car, Atkins on the outside in the Greek machine. And here comes a massive send from Lee. That's a bit, very dangerous stuff. Could have just sat on the brakes early and tried to get the run on these 2 guys while they're battling. But regardless, there goes Barber in front for the time being. Misses the apex by an absolute mile. There goes unforced error, and there's a position gain for Lee James up to 21st position. Let's have a look up and down the field. There's another little battle going on here. It's Mr. Scott Holly on the back of Ezra Simons too, going up the hill at a rate of knots here, closing in on the back of him too. He's got a pretty good pace to Scott Holly.
He's the carburettor in Holly himself versus the rim in Ezra Simmons. Well, look at that tail wagging, just showing the arse there, flapping it around, saying, "I want a piece of that," says Sam Holly. Holy mackerel, indeed. That was Scott Holly, in fact. Sorry, I forgot about that. But, geez, well done to that for keeping it out of that one. Nathan Hughes has come a proper, unfortunately, in the Marlboro livery. Cracking-looking livery, that one. But in 14th place, fighting for 10th at some stage. Fabian Fitness is trying to plough his way through Dion Clerk's rear end and get a position, because Matt Munro in front of him has galloped away to an absolute country mile in comparison. Fabian just not finding the source here for that victory at this stage. Fighting tooth and nail for a 9th place here with Dion Clerk, another quick customer as well in this field. Beautiful stuff here from everyone tonight. It's been, look, there's been door bumping and whatnot for the first 12 or so minutes, but they've kept it fair. They've redressed when they needed to, and then they've come back at a rate of knots and hard, fast, clean racing here from everyone. Fitness around the outside here, looking for a move on Dion. He'll trailer park girl him here for sure. Paul Buttigieg style gets the job done, but it's a drag race here now into this beautiful left-hand corner coming up. Is Fabian going to get it? He is. He's just got to pull it up at the right amount of rate of knots, but I'll tell you what, Dion's got a huge run here. Is he going to send it up into the corkscrew? This will be brave. This will take cojones of steel. He does not do it, and he keeps that P10 at the moment. Fabian Fitness now just got to keep his eyes forward. Dion's had a mare there at the last end of the Timu Dipper, but nonetheless, racing on for these guys. Cracking stuff. So Scotty Garrick fouls on, and then big disaster there. Simons and Holly, the carburettor and the rim have come together, and that is a big no-no there from Ezra. He needs to redress that position in my eyes. That's a warning for him, and he'll keep racing on. However, though, the underground mammal, definitely Christopher had an absolute man to the start of this one, but he's found himself in 13th, now trying to take on Lachlan Grant, another reasonable pace guy in every stretch of the imagination for P12.
Oh, there's plenty of hot pace in this race at the moment, so even the likes of Lachlan Grant finds himself down here in 12th position. Though I did get a good look at what happened there with Simons and Holly. And I think Holly just lost it on his own there in front of Simons. There was nowhere for Simons to go. That was full.
Apologies, Ezra.
Yeah, fully unforced error there. I'm sure Simons will have something to answer for by the end of the night, so we'll just keep that one in the bag for now. But for that one, he gets away with. But it looks as if Grant has just made the gap there on Nick Mole at the moment. We've seen Mole throughout the seasons here at Wednesday Cup. One of the most consistent drivers out there. Very clean, very fast, and is always thereabouts at the end. But certainly has his hands full tonight because of just the quality that is in the Wednesday Cup this season. It's unreal actually to behold. All the big names are all out there battling. The biggest
P2.
of all, yeah, absolutely. Benny Hines and Nick Mello there side by side. Nick Mello on the outside. Ben Hines up the inside now. He's got the advantage going down into turn one. He's got that job done into the braking zone, but Nick Mello very confident under brakes, but goes way too deep, looking for a bit of an up and under, but there's just nowhere to go because Hines gets that job done and now has propelled himself at the perfect time up into P2. A minute left on the clock. Just has, 20 turns at the very most to keep Mr. Mello behind, but he always had the pace there. He was keeping up with him that whole time, so just needs to consolidate there, and that's a podium to start off the season well there for Benny Hines. Alex McEwen, however, out there in front by 2.8 seconds over those two guys. Mello's still just on the back of him, actually. We're going to hold on to him here because it all just matters about how you get through that kink, and Benny Hines does it perfectly. Mello possibly even better. Is closing in on the back of him now up to the Timu Dipper. Tight under brakes, compresses up that gap, and now probably just going to get the run here down the hill. But it's very hard to make an overtake happen around these couple of turns because you're just on the limit the whole way around, and you really need to use every bit of that racing circuit. Benny Hines compromising his entry there, which was going to open up the corner there for Mello, but he's gone just a little bit too shallow and collects that sausage curve on the way in. This will be the final, one more lap to go once they cross the line here. Let's see if these two guys can give us a show to the end.
Yeah, definitely. This is a cracking battle between the two of them. You can see them having a good crack at each other. Speaking of another one, Matt Munro on the flyer, on the charge, on the prowl, back through the field. He's got William Wallace in front of him, the Braveheart, in the Namco liveried Toyota FRS. Oh, holy mackerel, this is incredible stuff. But can Matt Munro get a P7 here? The red mist descends, but it's still the battle on between Nick Mello and Benny Hines, LS1 Benny. He's got to put a V8 underneath the hood of this Toyota at the moment because Nick Mello can still smell blood here. He's just got to keep it clean. However, Benny got a beautiful exit there and just started to gap him a little bit in the grand scheme of things. So a bit of confidence under brakes and under pressure. He is Benny Hines, but look at this though. He's driving the tits off this thing at the moment and he's keeping Nick Mello honest. That is for sure. Can he get through the kink here beautifully? He does. Just lifts off the accelerator that little bit, but Nick Mello's ever so closer here. He can sniff a little bit of blood. The final lap of the race is on here, ladies and gentlemen. Into the Timu Dipper we go. What can Benny Hines do? He's just got to go full defensive mode here because Nick Mello is right there with him. This is the battle of the season so far because it's only race one and round one of the season, but it is shaping up here to be a beautiful one. Benny gone full defensive, compromised his entry again. Now Nick Mello's going to go for the overlap. He's going to go around the outside here. Try the trailer park girl, move him under brakes. Cool, absolute confidence and battling. This is a drag race style GD2. And here goes Nick Mello. He's going to take the P2 here off poor old Benny Hines. Or is he? It's going to be a photo finish and he does get it.
Got it.
Oh my goodness gracious me. Full-on commiserations there to Benny Hines. Nick Mello takes P2. Full congratulations, however, to this man on screen, Alex McEwen. Beautiful stuff. And 19 hundredths of a second is literally the difference, or thousandths of a second, sorry, is the difference between Nick Mello and Benny Hines for P2 and 3. What an absolute rip snort at the end.
Oh, what a start to the season. Wowee. 19 thousandths between those two guys. I hope there's plenty more of that to come throughout the season. Here's Tommy Corks. His car's turned black for some reason. I don't know what's happened there, but he's looking quite nice as always in fourth.
He's changed races through the race.
Yeah, I don't know how he's done that. A bit of reverse Michael Jackson there for Tommy Corks. Matthias Falzon there in fifth position with Scotty Garrett crossing the line in sixth. Matty Munro in seventh. What could have been? He was right up there to start with, but found the nose of Fabian Fitness. Hayden Wallace, good start to the season for him down there in 8th position with Fabian Fitness and Dion Clerk rounding out the top 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy Cork started off as 2002 Michael Jackson and ended up back in 1986 with that style.
Moonwalking all the way back in time.
Moonwalking, shuffling, you name it. He's all the way back down, and he's trying to drift this thing. It's not working, but nonetheless, what a battle, what a start, what an opening round and opening race, really, to the whole season here. Battles up and down the field. We had everything going for it. We had absolute trials. We had tribulations there, but one man kept it clean, kept it honest, and that is Mr. DNQ himself. But he did queue this time around, did Alex McEwen, so I think a qualifying ban is on for him next round if he keeps this going. I've called it early in the season, but that was a belter of a race one, Christopher Munro.
Sure was, and certainly looking forward to the rest of the night and the rest of the season, because there's some cracking circuits coming up in the calendar, which is going to promote some pretty hard racing from these boys at the top. And I'll tell you what, anyone in that top 10 is capable of taking out a race victory, and even beyond that once the ballast starts to get applied, which is going to happen right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, while I do that, Zach O'Reilly's going to take us to the break.
Absolutely. You know what to do out there in viewership land. You've been watching Sensational TV for a while. If you're new, please give us a like and a subscribe if you are loving what you are seeing here from us in the commentary box. Christopher Munro and yours truly, Zach O'Reilly, here doing so. But ballast is applied. Race 2 is only a couple of minutes away. These boyos are ready to rock and roll. And I'm telling you what now, out there in viewership land, just remember that each round is the same format. And when it comes to race 2, it's a top 10 reverse grid. So whoever came 10th in that one is starting on pole. And the boys out the front have to do it the long way around. Don't you go anywhere.
Welcome back, folks. Now that I'm still shaking about that finish. Oh, that's what we come to see here at Wednesday Cup. I reckon there'll be more of those photo finishes coming up in not only this round, but for the rest of the season as well. Because those three boys at the front now, they've got a few kilos on board. They're going to be pegged back just a notch, giving the pretty much the rest of the field a little bit of a leg up. So we're going to see those guys fighting tooth and nail through the field. But Dion Clerk and Fabian Fitness are your front row here for race 2. Behind them, Hayden Wallace and Matt Munro. So Munro now on the behind Fitness for this race. So anything could happen there. Scott Garrick and Matthias Falzon off the third row with Tommy Corks and Benny Hines. I'll be interested to see what colour Tommy Corks is this race. Could be anything. Ben Hines, Nick Mello and Alex McEwen starting 10th position. After that, we got Illich, Grant, Mole, Hughes, Ward, Simons, Holly, Greater Buttigieg has just jumped out of the server, hopefully getting back in the next minute. Colton Aitkins there as well with Kai Opera, Dooley, Sadler, Greitzman, Barber, James, McGrath. Glenn McGrath is in the server, ladies and gentlemen, bowling some in-swingers. Rob Priest, Remo Grant, Stephen Warwick up there in 30th position with Salmon. Silly Salmon's in there. Sullivan, Crowther, Coleman, McEwen, and Liam Hanley. Little Hanley's in there, or was in there at least. Wowee, that's got to be one of the biggest turnouts for a round one in Wednesday Cup history. So thank you all for doing that. Zach O'Reilly, what is going to happen here?
Well, I can tell you what, it's the second biggest turnout. We had 42 at one stage, but 30 odd and plus nearly 38, I think, is there. That is sensational and fantastic for all these boys turning up. They're around the corner at the Laguna Seca circuit. Speaking of what's going to happen, 22 seconds left. This is going to be, I reckon, a bloodbath here at the moment. I have a feeling something's going to happen really big. But with 13 seconds on the clock, the lights are up, the boyos are getting ready, and the sweat is starting to drip into their eyeballs. Hopefully they've got that ready to rock and roll. Hopefully Michael Jackson stays chrome at this stage. It's ready to go racing.
Let's go racing in race 2. And it's a pretty good start there from Fabian Fitness on the outside. But Dion Clerk has got an even better one. He will cut across to cover him off down into turn 1. Here's Matt, who's that? Scotty Garrick, though. Let's ride on board with him as they go 3 wide there. Hayden Wallace up the inside. Matt Munro around the outside. Fabian Fitness in the middle. Dion Clerk, a little bit of contact there with Wallace and Fitness. But Matt Munro just... very awkward there as he comes across the circuit after dipping a couple of wheels off. Gets a good run out of turn 3 and will slingshot himself up behind Fabian Fitness as well. But look at this, Tommy Corks on the outside of Scotty Garrick there. Garrick gets the run through, and it seems to me that everyone's got through pretty unscathed here at the time being. Let's get a decent view. These camera angles are less to be desired, but Scott Garrick and Hayden Wallace are pretty much side by side here. A little bit of an overlap perhaps, but Garrick just going about half defensive there up the hill, but he's binned it. He's off into the kitty litter. He's going to lose about 6 or 7 positions
User
here
in your channel
at this
timed
stage.
out.
Someone has timed out of the there goes Zach O'Reilly. He's gone out of the TeamSpeak server. So it's up to me for now. But wowee, who's that up there? That's Nick Mello getting up the inside of Hayden Wallace, or Falzon, should I say. Matt Munro and Fitness tagging it off here as well. There goes Fitness in front. Here's Hayden Wallace, though. He's got a pretty good run. He's going to look up the inside. Big send there as well into the final turn. Very nice awareness there on the brake pedal. Matt Munro dipping a couple off, and he will lose all momentum going up the hill. That is not good at all. But here's Falzon on the back of this little crew as well, as we look down the field, because there is Alex McEwen trying to carve his way through the battle pack here as well. Look at that. There's just cars everywhere. That's who's that up there? Ben Hines and who's behind him there? Scott Garrick, all going a couple wide. There's someone up there as well. That's Matt Munro, Hayden Wallace. That's Tommy Corks on the outside. You can see the undercar glow there as Matt Munro gets up the inside of him. But Tommy Corks is probably going to send that back. Looking around the outside here, it's a perfect place. We've seen it happen before. I think Paul Buttigieg showed us how to do it there in race 1. And my user has just made his way back into the TeamSpeak. Zach O'Reilly.
Sorry, mate. The old connection issue there. The internet died for a second, so I'm back.
That's all right.
Look at this racing. Falzon has kept himself inside the top 10. Nathan Hughes, he's driving really, really well. And I'll tell you what, there at the moment, he's got Lachlan Grant in front of him. 2x2 in the corkscrew never works. And it's going to work here, though. However, beautiful racing room left between them. That was a carburetor off into the bunda behind them, too. Hughesy still survived that one, swinging and swagging his way through the field, but manages to keep it collected there at the moment. 14th place is going to be hot property very, very shortly for 13th between himself and Lachlan Grant. So, cracking stuff. Underground Mammal has got to burrow his way through the field. Sarge Illich and Grey Ward have had a tussle there as well. They've changed positions there in 11th and 10th. In fact, it's a drag race down the straightway between himself. But here is Matt Munro setting the fastest lap early. But look at this. Grey Ward and Sarge. Oh, turn it up. Oh, that was dead set poor there. But look at the underneath. He goes again to Sarge Illich. Gets the job done. Once again, Grey Ward just backed out of that one and probably punts him again. He's absolutely giving the copper defects left, right, and centre back at him. That was incredible stuff there. How they kept it on the track and kept it together, I will never know. But the reaction time of the two oldest bastards on the circuit there at the moment really coming to fruition. Cracking stuff there from everyone.
Yeah, there's a bit of tussle here for the lead. That's Fitness up the inside of Clerk, and Matt Munro just gives him a bit of a bump draft up the hill, and Fabian won't be too happy with that, and gets to check up, does Matt Munro, and so does Tommy Corks as well. But Dion hasn't had the best run through the kink, and that will let Fabian up the inside. Matt's going to try and follow him up the inside as well. Tommy Corks right about there, but Dion Clerk now just doing his best to cover him off. This is an angry little battle pack here. Where's Matt Munro going to go? Just gives him a little bit of a punt as well. Bump drafting through the middle turn. That's probably not the best idea, but Dion Clerk's going to send it back on Fabian. He's going to run him all the way to the outside. Now they're going to go three wide. Here goes Tommy Corks up the inside here. He's going to try and take them all. He doesn't, but he grabs that sausage curb on the outside. Matt Munro with a massive mistake there. He's going to lose all momentum. He's done that about three laps in a row, and now they all go down the straight. There's Dion Clerk as Tommy Corks is in the hot seat here. He's going to send it from nowhere. Let's get a top view here. He's taken out Fabian Fitness. That's a horrible end to that race, but Matt Munro is the biggest benefactor there. He goes to the lead. Fabian Fitness now these two guys are battling for the lead. Oh my God, I need a breath, Zach O'Reilly.
Matt Munro, Fabian Fitness. Oh, look at that, the switchback there from Munro. You are dead set kidding me. Those guys came together and then switched positions in the corner, and here goes Fabian again. Oh, turn it up in another door bang. Get out of town, these boys. Full racing for sheep stations, and why not? Because it's P1 and 2. That is incredible. Here goes. Oh, no, another touch there from Matt Munro. Piss poor Matthew. Yep. Redress that one, son. I do not care what happens. Fitness has gone all the way down. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You name it. He's got to get himself back on the circuit. 14th place for him. Oh, geez Louise. It was coming to fruition there. But here goes Ezra again. He's up the inside of the carburetor. The rim and the carburetor still together in race 1 and race 2 here. Basically just keeping each other honest on the pace department. And Simon just goes through once again to get that job done. Alex McEwen, through all of that nonsense, has found his way up into 3rd place. Stephen Warwick is having a good old tussle here as well with Lethal James there as well for that. Oh, that is a bad error there from Lee. He has gone way off into the bunda. 23rd, 24th place now because Nathan Hughes is going to come around the outside and take him. But Falzon's in the wars. He has got a dead set battle on his hands. He's got Sargent in front of him. Oh, look at that behind. That was Nick Mello and Dion Clerk taking it together. And I think Dion's lost a couple of places there to all that Stounzer. But Falzon versus Sarge again. Up the inside goes Sarge. Falzon defending himself around the outside. Hopefully trying to get a attack move on here for the switchback. Can he get the job done here? Oh my goodness, it's all happening. And Falzon switchbacked himself nearly. Tank slapped him. Saved it. Reaction times of a cat with 12 lives.
Yeah, that's some good car control there. That was a full-on tank slapper, but he somehow gathered it up. Fantastic stuff there from him. But look at this. It's just nose to tail all the way down the field here. Dion Clerk, whoa, having a little off-field adventure there, following Lachlan Grant off into the sand. Probably not the ideal line around, but he manages to keep it together. Nick Mole's just behind him as well. We're right on board with him. And there's positional changes up the front here as well. Scotty Garrett goes past Hayden Wallace, but Wallace gets the up and under there through the kink and goes up towards the corkscrew or the Timu Dipper again. This is the 4th or 5th time they've gone through here. Dead set. It is all happening up and down. This is an exciting field here, ladies and gentlemen. Very hard to commentate on because there's battles just everywhere. You bloody look. Here goes Garrick now on the back of Wallace. This is a beautiful looking livery as well, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a quick look at that before the racing resumes as they go into the final corner. And Scotty Garrick looking for the switchback, but just being been parked on the apex there by Hayden Wallace. Really good move there. But that might just compromise him down the straight. We'll have a look out the back if we can. We can. There we go. We can see the gap there, just about a car's length. Scotty Garrick all the way out to the left-hand side of the track if you're looking at it from our point of view. But there's guys down the back there. Who's that? Illich Sarge in the police car. He's going to have to get some lights and sirens happening here to get some of these folks out of his way.
Yeah, definitely. He's getting the tickets handed out, but he's getting them sent back to him at a rate of knots here. The paperwork not too good for the sheriff there on screen at the moment. He's going really well. Falzon's hot on his collar, trying every single move he possibly can. In fact, he's got an overlap here now. So that is a move done for Falzon into 7th place. Takes Sarge's a P7 off him. Gets the job done and up the field he goes. Here comes the carburetor. Around the outside once again with his old nemesis there, the rim. The rim and the carby are having a good old tussle once again. What can Scotty do here? Can he get himself up there, put the juice into the carburetor and not bog down? No, he just bogged it 100%. Yep. Too rich on the carburetor scale there. And that is Ezra Simons just absolutely singing off into the distance there. Can he get the momentum up into the corkscrew? He can't at the moment. Beautiful under braking here is Scott. I reckon look out for this guy later in the season. He'll be inside the top 10. No worries about that. Yep. But it is tussling for sure here. Christopher Crowther and the Underground Mammal had a good old chat there into the corkscrew. Came out the second best there, did Crowther. Nick Mole into 16th place. Corks and Grey Ward also another tussle on field. These guys are going after it at the moment, hammer and tong style here at the moment. Grey Ward just overcooking it on the exit there. Now he's going to be vulnerable because he's got Simon. He's got the rim and a carby going up on him. We've got the old mental asylum in front. Then we've got 2 car parts sitting behind him at the moment. Oh, look at this double suck there that Holly got as well. It's Ezra Simon's going to go up the inside of him. No, he's not. The Grey Ward just sticking a fat around the outside. He's got the inside run, bit of contact and door rubbing. Oh Grey, she's flat off the accelerator and the carburetor's going to try and trailer park girl Grey Ward around the outside. Oh, door banging, rubbing, sucking, and Ezra's off, and then Sam's off too. Oh, no, disaster there for Sam. He lost all momentum. Grey Ward, however, has just gone back and said, I'll take that position. Here comes Ollie. Oh, my goodness gracious me. I've got the lung capacity of a whale at the moment. It's still going here. But Munro, it's your turn. Keep it going, son.
I tell you what, these guys are battling longer than we can talk. You know it's a good thing because we can flow it with the best of them. Not me tonight, apparently. But here we go up the hill again. There goes Ward off the track. That's going to invite Simons up the inside. And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be going side by side. These two guys through the Timu Dipper here at the moment. Ward pulls out. But so massive send there from Holly. A bit of contact on the side door there as well. But they all survive for another round. Fitness is in the bundar as well, so he's going backwards at a rate of knots. Poor old Fabian Fitness has not had the start he dreamed here in this round, but looking forward now, those 3 guys have just gapped each other a little bit, but McEwen now is side by side with Ben Hines, and here we go. This is the battle for second position. Here goes McEwen up the inside. Nice little block pass as well. Does not let Hines up the inside. No up and unders here. Alex McEwen looking in control of this little battle here as well. You can see Matt Munro up ahead there as well. Only by about 3 seconds, but we've got only just under 5 minutes to go in this race. So we're going to look down the order here because I think that might be it. But Benny Hines has had a ripping exit there. We can see they're side by side now. Let's get the overhead view. Benny Hines ripping it around the outside here into turn 7. That's really, turn 6 should I say. But now, here, let's ride on board with McEwen and see what sort of headway he can go up the hill here towards the corkscrew for the 8th time. Wowee, they're side by side, Zach O'Reilly.
That's a big unforced error there from Benny. He's got the job done as Alex McEwen over him. So another little battle here brewing. Can Benny Hines get the job? No, we can't into the corkscrew. That's it. It's all over. So McEwen now into P2. Can he consolidate that position and make sure he keeps his eyes forward to catch Matt Munro with 4 minutes to go? He's going to have to be a full second a lap quicker here to get himself into P1. But Falzon at the moment off into the bunda himself there too. Just losing a bit to William Wallace, who also is driving the tits off this car in 6th place, keeping Nick Mallow honest, in fact, as well, with only 0.4 of a second between him. Cracking Dre's driving here from the Braveheart himself. But now he's got Falzon only half a second behind him. The slipstream will start to come into effect when you're about 3.5 tenths away. So not this time around here for Hayden Wallace, but the Namco livery car at the moment, the SFR, is really, really driving well, but he's got Falzon on his collar, hoping to get a P7, a 6 here for Matthias Falzon. Is William Wallace defending him and stopping him from that one. Cracking stuff here.
Yeah, great stuff all up and down the grid here so far. It's a very busy grid indeed with 35 cars out there at the moment. So all these guys really doing a great job considering how busy it is out there. It's fantastic to see. A few little rub and tugs up and down the order, but that's to be expected. It's hard racing, ladies and gentlemen, here at the Wednesday Cup. So let's see if there's any other tight battles. They've all sort of petered out here with a couple of minutes to go. The closest one is probably Fitness here on the back. We've seen something happen. I can't see what's happened here, but that's Wallace maybe just having a massive mistake there going up the hill, and that invites Falzon up the inside. A bit of smoke coming out of the back of Wallace's car as well. Maybe just pinching a tyre into that section. It's easy to do, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Mole and Holly again up the inside. Around the outside goes Holly. We've seen him. He's impressed me tonight. I don't know about you, Zach, but keep an eye out for this guy. As you said, I reckon he's just going to get better and better as the season progresses. He's got Ezra Simons again, his old sparring partner. These two guys are going to get to know each other well and truly. But that's beautiful racing there from Simons as well. Just knows the car was there and gave him room. That's all you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that hard. But these guys making it look easy. As Nick Mole just chiming in on the back there and losing the rear end. So he is out of this battle for now. 2 minutes to go. Who is going to catch anyone at the moment? I think Matt Munro's got this one sewed up. It's a long way to go, but with some difficult turns on this circuit, you can find yourself in the kitty litter and going backwards.
Yeah, tale of two stories for Matt Munro and Fabian Fitness, struggling way down there in 16th is Fabian after those two came together in the opening stanza. But it looks like he's going to take this one by the horns, and this will be the second last lap, the penultimate, in fact, for the race, I would say here. Matt Munro out in front by 3.2 seconds over Alex McEwen and kept that gap. So the pace is there for Matt Munro. Credit to him. He's got the pace when he needs it. Now Dion Clerk's going to have half a sniff because Sarge just touched that gravel, which does slow you up for a little bit, but he's not going to do it into the Timu Dipper as well. Sarge is full defensive mode at the moment. So Dion just needs to attend the racing line there. Trying to go the attack move just didn't work because he was too shallow and did not work for him. He'll learn that one for the next time around. Sarge inside the top 10 though for him. That is a cracking result for Sarge Illich. So we've got to keep hats off to him. But Nick Mallow and Scotty Garrick are within 2 or 3 tenths of each other in 5th and 4th. That is the battle at the moment. And you can see Nick Mallow having a good old tussle. He's just going to have a little braking advantage here because he knows where he can brake and get that little pace advantage. Coming into turn 2, he goes right into that hairpin. Scotty Garrick's gone the wide line. Mallow with the shallow line, and he's just got a bit of overlap here, but Scotty's going to power out the other side and keep that gap, gets it onto the dirt, but stays there. Scott Garrick actually does work for Toyota, so he should have some sort of inside knowledge about these fanatical and fantasy cars as well here. Don't worry about that. He's got all the contacts in the world, does the best salesman this part of the Southern Hemisphere is Scotty Garrick, but cracking stuff. The chat's gone off. Ron Marshall said, too many bananas for Fabian Fitness tonight. Those two never get old at each other, I'll tell you that much. Ron Marshall doesn't race, Fabian Fitness does, and they stick it into each other for cracking stuff. But this man on screen, as we said, look out for him. He's been involved in battles and they got out of it at the last minute. His collision avoidance system is state of the art. I'm telling you, I would bet anyone else out there would be punting someone off, but he manages to pull it up at the last moment, avoids a collision, then just goes racing again to the carburetor and Sam Holly. But here goes Dion. Whoa. Oh, him and Sarge nearly came together. Dion's tank slapped him out of that one. Here comes Tommy Corks, who was turned back into 1986 Michael Jackson at this race as well, and it's not looking good. But that is the final lap of the race now. Matt Munro's about to cross the line.
Yeah, absolutely, for the win. That's taken that by surprise just as the timer runs down to 0. Munro taking out race 2 tonight, albeit under suspicious and controversial circumstances there, but I'm sure there's some frosty chat going on in the voice comms over there at ASA Discord. Alex McEwen, wowee, a first and a second to start off the evening, starting from 10th position on the grid. Fantastic drive from him. And Ben Hines, a couple of familiar faces there in the top 3. already. So a bit more ballast added to those two blokes as well. Scotty Garrick with a great, I'll tell you what, he's come into some form at this time of the year. He's had two podiums on the weekend in the V8 Supercars and just narrowly missing out on one here in the Wednesday Cup. So fantastic from him. Nick Mello up there in 5th position as well. So he'll be right up there in the championship standings. Matthias Falzon is starting to find his way around the circuit as well. Hayden Wallace in 7th position with Sarge Illich in 8th. Dion Clerk as well in 9th position. We saw him and, Tommy Corks down here in the newly crowned Michael Jackson livery. I don't know what happened to the chrome. I don't know where that's gone. I haven't done anything on my end. But Lachlan Grant down there in 11th position as well. We've got Nick Mole there in 12th with Scott Holly, Scott in 13th position. Fantastic drive from him. Gray Ward in 14th will start off the front row, and Fabian Fitness will start off pole this time. A big gap between him and Matt Munro at the on the starting grid, so he'll breathe a sigh of relief there. Lucas Greatorex in 16th with Simons in 17th. Steve Warwick out of the server already down there in 18th with Hughes, Dooley, Barber, Sadler, Adkins, Conan, Greitzman, Lee James down there in 26th. We saw a couple of unforced errors from him. Maybe a little bit more practice during the week, and he'll be up there as well. We saw him during the week in practice session around the top 10 in pace-wise. So just needs to sort out his racecraft, and he'll be away. But that was race 2, run and won.
15th place for that man on screen for the final race of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. A 17-minute coming your way here at Sensational TV. Fabian Fitness has come into the chat and said no redress, no holds barred for now. So that man on your screen will be shitting bricks, I can guarantee you that. Fabian Fitness off the front row for the next one. He's going to gallop off into the distance, we hope. But get your predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Go and get those drinks and the snacks refilled for the last 17 minutes of this round 1 of Season 17 Wednesday Cup coming your way. 34 cars on the circuit. Where else do you want to be on a Wednesday night? You want to be right here at Sensational TV. Be back in just a hot second.
Welcome back, viewers. The boys have just been given the rev up there in the chat. Let's see if that converts to some more sensible driving out there. It's been pretty good for the most part, but a couple of the guys that should know better have just had their warnings given to them. So we'll see. Hopefully that sinks in, Zachariah.
Hopefully, but we'll see, ladies and gentlemen out there. It's race 3, which means it's a 17-minute, and it is a reverse top 15 grid. You can see there, Favour Fitness, with all eyes forward, our season 16 champion is off pole for this one, having a mare tonight for him in his standards, but not by his own fault in most circumstances. Grey Ward is off the first row with him, not side by side, a little bit of a car length back as well. We've got Sam Holly, the carburetor, off 3rd. We've got Nick Mole off 4th. Lachlan Grant 5th. Tommy Corks in 6th. Is he Michael Jackson? No, he is, but he's 2002 era. Yep. Sarge Illich and Dion Clerk share the 4th row together. Dion's got to get in there, Sarge. In fact, he's got to get on the grid. Wallace in 9th place. Falzon in 10th. Mallow, Garrick, Benny Hines, and Alex McEwen and Matt Munro, are your top 15 from the last race, Christopher.
Yeah, absolutely. So those guys are going to be trying to carve their way through the pack, and there's plenty of pack to go as well. We've got Greater X, Simons, Warwick, Nathan Hughes, Sam Dooley, Brody Barber, Joshy Sadler down here for Speed Nation. Go and check those guys out as well on the Google if you're for all your Moser supplies and sim racing goodies. Colton Atkins down there in 24th with Conan, Gleitzman, Lee James sticking around for race 3 as well. Hopefully he can make some inroads through the pack. Glenn McGrath down there in 18th with Remo Grand. Paul Buttigieg, Silly Salmon in 31st. Rob Priest, Ryan Sullivan, Lee Crowther in 34th. We don't usually see him down that far down. And Scotty McEwen as well. Senior McEwen down there in 35th with the planetary system there, keeping us all safe in 34th. But the lights are up and we are about to go racing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for a top view here and see who gets the clean start off the line. We are racing now for race 3, and no one's moved. What has gone on here? Oh, I know what's happened. Okay, we will be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Who's got grip? No one's got grip. All right, we'll be back for race 3 in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And we are back now on circuit after just a little gap in the proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. We had a zero grip technicality there, so we saw all the cars just like slide down towards the lowest point on the circuit like water. So something a bit different. I've never seen that happen in the server, so now we're aware of it. It's another one of the things we've got to check each and every time. But that's the joys of online racing, Zach O'Reilly. Everything happens and usually does.
It genuinely does here at every circumstance at Assetto Corsa land. I reckon we should put it on 1% grip for one race of the season. So they do have grip, but how sideways they go, we'll never know. That's the beauty of racing, ladies and gentlemen. But they're all on the field. They're all ready to go. We've got a reverse top 15 here ready for another set. And you can see the angry eyes there of Gray Ward's car just sitting there. He's got the skin well and truly worked out there. It just looks like a full-on berating from your mum when you said to him that you would be only out till about 12:30 at night when you're in your 18, 19-year-olds. And then you come home at 3 a.m. in the morning and she's sitting up there just going, where the fuck have you been? It's after 8:30. But doesn't matter because that angry eyes right there has got a hell of a mountain to climb in front of him. Fabian Fitness has got the red mist apparently in his cockpit. Too much to see any green stuff out there. What can the boys do? Where is Nick Mallow? Where is Scotty Garrick? Where is Alex McEwen? Where is Matt Munro going to come in all of this as well? We will find out by the time the 17-minute timer ticks down 2-0, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we will, and it all comes down to a bit of luck as well, but certainly all for the skill.
Where is Matt Munro?
He's down there in 15th position, I believe.
Not on the tower.
Not on the tower. No, there is a gap there in the racing. He has not entered the server down there in 15th. Interesting decision there after winning the race before, and now he's missed out on this one. I don't know. Oh no, he's just got in time as the lights are up here on the server. Wowee. We're about to go racing now, hopefully for realsies this time. Yeah, everyone gets away absolutely cleanly, and it is Fabian Fitness out in front. He will be challenged, actually, by Grey Ward, who did get a pretty good start, so he's going to pull alongside here, and maybe just a slight little overtake, but there we go. As you see the field compressing up behind, that is
big on the inside.
one of the speed zone cars off there as well. There's some rattling around in the mid-pack, as you can see them all just like 5 or 6 wide. That's pretty poor form there. We've got cars on and off the circuit like you would not believe here at the moment. Down here in 10th position, Sarge Illich is in the bloody thick of it. Let's get a top view here, as it seems like everyone's just made their way through somewhat sensibly. If we can get a front view action here, we can see just who is in the thick of it. They're all in the thick of it. Look at that. There's they're 2 or 3, 4 wide, all up and down the grid here as well. Nick Mello, actually Nathan Hughes, he's got Nick Mello on his outside and gets the job done up the kink there as well. Great driving there. Oh no, here's the kink here. Wow, and here goes Mello, should I say, looking for the up and under, gets that job done. He's going to pull up side by side here into the Tiamu Dipper, and Nick Mello very confident under brakes, as you can see him all just battling up there as well, side by side. Nick Mole and Alex McEwen. McEwen just getting the better of it there for now. Tommy Corks is trying to make a move. Oh, around the outside. Had to check up. Almost lost it. But he's going to certainly lose a couple of positions here. Opened himself up to Scotty Garrick, who's going to maybe have a little bit of a lunge here into the final corner. He does. Gets up alongside the Silver Bullet there and gets the power down. But they're going to go side by side, Zach O'Reilly, all the way around the first lap.
Yeah, here we go. This is incredible stuff. I reckon the Tommy Corks' livery just decides to go black once he gets a bit of damage. That's my theory, but he's still in chrome at the moment, and the neon lights are full on showing. Can he get the job done on Scotty? No, he can't. Look at the gap advantage there. Sarge Illich had a beautiful time there, but so did Nick Mole too. Cracking racing from all of them into T2 they go. Now into T3. Here we are. This is where you just start to get your white knuckles involved. Grip onto the steering wheel. Hope the car sticks, for goodness sake. And it does here for everyone in sundry. Look at this at the front. Lachlan Grant versus Grey Ward. And also Holly, the carburetor's going for the dive up the inside. Oh, he's knocked over Grey Ward there. He's lost 2 positions down. He's going to lose 3 as well. The carburetor just sent it from a mile away. Put the fuel mixture to full rich and said, I'm going for it. He's got the job done. Grey Ward's getting checked up here as well. Up the inside. There goes Dion Clerk onto the gravel. pulls it up, but you can see the pace disadvantage it does take you. So there is no advantage going up on the inside. Tommy Corks is in the fight of his life. He's got Garrick and Clerk in front of him, also battling over position. This is a four-way suck car train here from third to second, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and ninth. And McEwen's involved in this one too. Oh my goodness gracious. Even a bump there from McEwen on Tommy Corks. Bit uncharacteristic. Even in front there. Oh, there goes the carburetor. He is lost all fuel. He's gone completely lean there, and he's stuck off into the bunda. Disaster for the big man. He's gone way back down the grid. He's in 18th now, and it's still Grey Ward. Grant has had a mare there too as well. He's off the field. Is he going to get back on? He is, but he must have stuffed it up or contact there into the final turn, and he's gone way back from 4th all the way down to 14th himself. Disaster there. Here comes Benny Hines as well, up the inside of the Underground Mammal. Now he's got that job done. Is Mick Mello going to go up the inside of Nick Mole too? He is. The two Nicks are battling each other here at the moment. Scotty Garrick's been punted off into the bunda. Now he's got full-on assumption there, assassination, from Corks. Corks has crossed up.
Dion.
Oh, there goes poor old Dion Clerk. He's out of this one too. Crossed up, tank slapped out of it, this one. And that is Scotty Garrick into 4th place, but he's got to keep looking behind because he has got everyone involved. Here's Nick Mallow too, right up the inside of Benny Hines. Full swerve underneath the half accelerator and brake position. But Nick Mallow's going to go there. Benny Hines going to stick a fat around the outside. He does. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Fabian's leading this one by 3.5 seconds already while these guys tussle out for position. Ezra Simon's getting involved. 7 or 8 cars here on the screen involved in this one, Christopher. This is heating up.
Yeah, don't know where to look, but we're going to ride on board with Sarge Illich. He's up the inside of Nick Mello up to the dipper. Very deep under brakes is Sarge Illich. Just gives enough room for Mello to slot in beside him. And they're going to go side by side, still down the hill. But Mello just getting the better of it now and will slot in front as they go single file again. But here goes McEwen up there. He started, 14th on the grid, and now has made his way up to 6th position. Tommy Corks and Grey Ward getting tangled up there as well. Didn't end up facing the wrong way, but just lost themselves a few positions in the way. But here's Grey Ward now getting a bit of a suck down the front straight from Nick Mello. I don't know if Mello's going to have a bar of this up the inside, but Grey Ward's going to try and punish the mistake there of himself and try and just build that gap back up. But I think he just doesn't have the pace there to hold on to that front four as they just gap in there through that first turn. But now he's got his hands full. Sarge Illich, I think we've seen these two guys come together as well earlier on in the evening. Tommy Corks is looking up the inside now as well as the police car just shoots off into the gravel. Now he will turn the lights off and the old Need for Speed will get down the side there. Tommy Corks has, in the meantime, turned into Michael Jackson again. He started off in 2002 and now he's gone back to 1982 and he's gone side by side with the police, and it's probably not the right colour he wants to be when dealing with the police, if you know what I mean, over there in the USA. But here he goes up the hill with the with the police car, pushes him off the track. But the battle is still on. Tommy Corks just holding on for dear life here at the moment, on and off the track. But he's got Nick Mole and Lockie Grant closing in behind him as well, as they're just battles all up and down. Let's go and have a look up ahead as well, because who is it here? Ben Hines and Alex McEwen are in the thick of it. Hines just having a little look up the inside at the final turn.
Yeah, definitely. He had a half a sniff there. Nearly caught Alex McEwen off guard, but pulled it up at the right minute. But now he's hampered himself because it is McEwen, Hines and Mallow all within half a second of each other. It's a three-way suck battle here. You can see in the background there Grey Ward getting involved in this one too. But if these guys keep going, battling and hammering away at each other, it's just going to draw everyone else in. The Fuick Ice Coffee livery there is right there. The Farmers Union of Nick Mallow trying to get his way up. He can sniff a P3 in front of him. Scotty Garrick is the cork at the moment. Sam Dooley, however, in the Pertec Falcon liveried inspired thing, is battling here with Matt Munro, who started from the pits after entering the server too late. Got kicked back to the pits. Matt Munro on a recovery drive. Nathan Hughes also on a recovery drive. He's got Simmons on his left-hand side. Is he going to go around the outside style here? He is. Ezra's going to try and fight it. Nathan Hughes just pulls out of it last minute. Tries to go for the switchback, but is too far away for that manoeuvre. Nick Mallow, however, has not got the job done, but in front, McEwen and Garrick have gone at each other. McEwen's going to send this one up the inside. Garrick's not going to make it easy for him, though. Can he send it around the outside? Scotty Garrick, he can. Can he stick it through the second part of the corkscrew? No, he can't. He's lost it into the bunda. Oh, come on, Scotty. Put that opposite lock on, son. You've lost a couple of positions. You're still in 6th. Keep going. But Nick Mallow, Benny Hines have been promoted to position, and Alex McEwen now has got 6.8 seconds to try and catch up to Falzon with 9 minutes and 28 seconds left in this one. Oh my goodness, Sarge Illich and Gray Ward, the two oldest bastards on the circuit here, having a good old tussle with each other. And he's just got bumped there from Tommy Corks, I reckon. Yes, it was. In fact, that was a dead set misere there for Tommy Corks. He has to give that position back on the entry of that corner. But Sarge Illich is just racing on. Can he send it up the inside once again here for the T2 entry? No, he can't. He's too far away. In fact, doesn't matter. He'll go for it anyway. Fuck it, he says. I'm going for it. He gets the job done. The neon lights don't affect me, mate, because I've got plenty on the top, and he's got that job done. Can he defend into T3? Yes, he can. He's going to go mid-exit onto this corner and get that job done. Happily days. But he's on the button, and there goes Tommy Vox again. Oh, my goodness, Great Corks has got the job done. Reversing positions, lap after lap. Gray Ward's involved. He's off the bunda now as well, so he's going to lose positions here. Here is the Underground Mammal too. This is incredible racing. Don't know where to look.
No, it's all happening here as well. This is, we're right on board with Nick Mole because he can see all three of these guys. Nick Mellow's Kamagutsa as well. He's off the circuit somewhere, and he's dropping down the order like a stone at the moment. I didn't see him off the circuit there, but let's see if we can find him. Yeah, just going very slowly up the hill, so not a good start for him. But Lachlan Grant, though, is on the move, getting past Nathan Hughes up the hill, so maybe a little coming together with him and Mello, perhaps, as he was slow moving the last time we saw him too. But tell you what, Lockie Grant's hanging that thing fat out or sideways big time. Here's Nick Mole. Let's go back to this little battle here. He's got the cops there in front of him with Tommy Corks with the lights ablaze underneath as Matthias Falzon sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:28.3. That's very quick indeed. That's almost qualifying pace there as well. It would have started him off the second row, mind you. Here goes Illich. He's right on the back here, and Tommy Corks actually, he's closest. And Gray Ward's been doing his best to keep these guys behind him, but I think this might be all that she wrote this time because Tommy Corks is up and underneath him here. He can just hold him out to the side of the track, dip back in, and away he goes off down the road. But to tell you what, Gray Ward's been pretty consistent in this race as well. He's going to, almost try and fire it back there. I don't know if that was ever going to work, but you get that red mist just descending, and that brake pedal or the brake markers just seem to get further and further into the corner. Here comes Scotty Garrick trying to go around the outside off the street. It's not going to happen for him this time because there's no traction out there, Scotty. That will actually slow your car down, as it has done. But these 3, 4, 5 cars all just nose to tail at the moment, and giving us all something to cheer about here at home.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was Sarge Illich just pulling into the way of Scotty Garrick, forcing him off the circuit, if I could call it from my perspective. But hasn't hurt Sarge at the moment. He has got Gray Ward in front of him. These two are both on for a perfect event. Oh, no, bad news. There goes Gray Ward. Just as our commentator cursed him, it's full on tonight. It is dead set disaster for Gray Ward. He's still around the wrong way too. You can see him just in the bottom corner of your camera there. He is still full on going for it. But I'll tell you what, it is big time battling up the front because Falzon and Fitness are only Fitness are oh my goodness gracious me. They're only half a second away from each other now. It was 3.5 seconds, but Falzon at the moment driving the absolute pants off this Toyota SFR. And I'm telling you now, Christopher Munro, 6 minutes to go. Fabian is going to lose that P1, but when it happens, we don't know unless a miracle happens in these final opening stanzas of this race. The closing stanza, in fact, who is going to take the chockies? Is Falzon going to get his inaugural win for season 17, or is it Fabian? After all odds, having a dead set misere for the last 2 races, can he fight it here for P1 versus Falzon?
Yeah, or will it be McEwen that comes up from behind once these two guys start getting stuck in? And perhaps the mood that Fabian's in, he's not going to stand for any bullshit coming up behind him and taking that win off him. I've got a feeling this is going to get quite spicy in the closing stages of this race. And Falzon at the moment is absolutely flying. He set 2 laps in a row, a 1:28.3, a 1:28.4. So fantastic consistency and awesome pace as well. Fitness will see that as well on his radar. He'll see him coming up from behind. And Falzon just pushing it a little bit too hard there out of turn 10. So that's afforded Fitness just a little bit more breathing space for now. But 5 minutes to go in racing terms. That is an absolute, that'll go quickly, but it's also a long time in racing terms. So that's about another 3 or 4 laps. So Falzon just needs to overtake one more car to get the job done. So he's not in any hurry to really force the issue. He can just sit there and wait and perhaps just get as close as possible, turning the screws slowly in Fitness's mind to maybe unsettle him and force a mistake. But we'll keep one eye on that gap there as well, because Nick Mello down here on the comeback trail, down in 12th position at the moment, going for the big send on Grader X, but thinks better of it as Dion Clerk gets a little bit squirrely as well through the first couple of turns, invites both of these guys up on the back of him. Now Falzon under 3/10 going up the hill. We can see how close he is now. Just got to time this little run here up the hill. Gets it done nicely, really beautifully done through the kink, and is just closing in on the back of the Plus Fitness SFR Toyota machine up to the dipper. I think all he has to do is sit under the rear wing here and just wait for that final turn and go for the lunge through turn 11. But Fabian really nicely done through that little section and has just afforded himself another couple of tenths to play with. He's just got to hang on for another couple of laps, Zach O'Reilly, but it just seems like a tall order at the moment.
Yeah, tall order, but they've got some blue flags in the way as well for Fabian Fitness. So what can he do to navigate that? Look at that line there from Falzon. Just uses the sausage curb to his advantage there. Pulls the car in and just dips him so he can take that extra pace advantage out of it. There is that blue flag in the way. Has he seen them coming? He has. He's got out of the way beautifully there. Cracking blue flag adherence there from one of those guys. I can't remember who that guy is, but nonetheless, hats off to you. If you know who you are, you're getting a full pat on the back, because these guys can go racing once again for another 2.5 laps, I reckon, here before that timing tower starts to descend into the final moments of this race. Fitness, whoa, really wide. Full checked up, gone defensive there as Fabian in the Plus Fitness. He's defending his World Championship title, but here goes Falzon. He's got a run around the outside, and he's going to look for a trailer park girl move. Can he get the job done on Fitness? No, he can't. But Fitness is stuck a fat mid-corner as well. They're going to stick side by side here and keep it together. Is there a little of a run? Look at the switchback there as well from Falzon there. He tried to go for it. Fitness covered him off. And again, we're going into the dipper there on the left-hand turn. Fabian Fitness has got that one right this time around, because that's where Falzon got that job done the last time. I'm telling you what, between the two F's on the last name, I'm having a fucking hard time trying to get them pronounced here, Christopher Munro.
Well, that's a good reliable F you can chuck in, at least in between the two names. So F's flying aplenty, and there'll be more to come in the final stages of this race. They come through turn 10 now. Fabian just a little bit wide on the apex, and I'll tell you what, you've got to be inch perfect here for the run home. Oh, wow, almost a centre punch there. That's as late as you want to be braking there, Matthias Falzon. And but it looks like Fabian's just got his number around that final turn, and that's really afforded him him to keep this lead the last couple of laps. He gets the drive out of turn 11, and that just stops Falzon from making that lunge down into turn 1. I've got the same disease, too many F's in the kitchen, and not enough P's and Q's and C's and all the good stuff that usually precedes it. But here we go. This will be the second last lap. So both of these guys battling really hard here at the moment as another blue flagger gets out of the way. It's Scott McEwen, one of the best at it, but Falzon really maybe starting to overdrive it here in the late stages.
He is. He's definitely just trying to push that car to the limit of the grip adhesion of those round rubber things that keep yourself on the road. In the meantime, though, Benny Hines has got past Alex McEwen too for P3. So a change of position, unforced area there, I reckon, for McEwen. So P3 for Benny Hines is there. And oh no, Falzon's just gone wide. That's hurt him a little bit now. Now it's half a second. A bit of a breather here for Fabian Fitness. This will be the penultimate lap of the race. Nick Mello has gone upwards and downwards and sideways. There is Matt Munro. Now he's got Desra Simons there too. So two hairy customers in front of him there at the moment. Hairier than the Greeks back of these two racing at the moment. Look at them pushing each other wide there. Malmo just keeps it on the track somehow. Ezra's just pushed him wide. Fair as fair racing room as you can get. Matthias Falzon at the moment, still 4 tenths behind. But there goes Simons. He's made the error. Melrose going to go up the inside. So here is Nick Mello, who's going to have half a sniff too into the Timu Dipper as they go on the brakes. Here we go, side by side, neck and neck stuff here. 2 by 2 they go, Noah's Ark style, and Mello's come out the other way. Munro's lost it, and he's off in the bunda. That is it. See you later. The stream is full-on disastrous at the moment for me. It's 2 seconds behind. Do take it away, Christopher Munro.
Oh, goodness me. It's all happening. I'll tell you what, the commentator's curse is strong too as well. So this is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to get around again. This is it. We've got Falzon just about 2/10 behind Fabian Fitness there as he clatters across that curb. That could be a big mistake here in the grand scheme of things. We're going to go top view here because there's a little bit of an overlap. Falzon might just be able to break deep and look for the up and under. He does. He's now, here he goes. Needs to get the run and sit right there underneath that rear wing under the kink. That's right on board because we can see how close it is. You can almost see the whites of Fabian's eyes through the rear view mirror here. But Fabian just doing enough, and that's all you got to do. Just keep that car under control to the very end. Place it on the track where you need it to be. This is the final time through the Timu Dipper, and Falzon getting right out sideways. But I'll tell you what, I think that might just be it because Fabian just kept it absolutely pinned through there and mistake-free for the last, 10 minutes or so. And that is absolutely beautiful driving there from the Season 16 champion, the reigning champion here at Wednesday Cup. Rounds the final turn. There's only a few tenths in it, but that's plenty in this field as Fabian Fitness will finally get a win here in round one of the Wednesday Cup Season 17 in the Toyotas, and he will be happy. That will make up for all the bumps and shoves that he received in the first couple of races. Matthias Falzon will settle for second position, and Benny Hines makes it 3 podiums in a row. That's third, and third for him. So fantastic performance and consistency there from Ben Hines.
Yeah, cracking stuff. And Fabian's got a missus in the chat saying, "Go, babe," at Fabian Fitness. That is Steph Fabzacale, or whatever she wants to be called. That's how I'm going to pronounce her last name. But great to have you tuning in as well there, Steph. Beautiful stuff, cheering on your better half for sure at the moment. Full on right there. But that was a cracking drive. 3 podiums for Benny Hines out of 3 is a good one. Alex McEwen had to settle for 4th there after whatever error happened between those two to get a positional change. Tommy Corks, Scotty Garrick, Nathan Hughes, Sarge Illich, Dion Clerk, and the Underground Mammal finish out your top 10 with the Bulldozer Greater X 11th, Carburetor in 12th, Nick Mallow in 13th. Disappointed for him. He'll be right there again next round. Don't you worry about that. The Wheel himself, Ezra Simons, in 14th place. Matt Munro, gallant effort, started from the pit lane in 35th. Gets himself into 15, 20 places. Ain't too bad in one race, that's for sure. Lachlan Grant, 16th. Paul Buttigieg, Crowther, Greyward, and Mr. Atkins. Around out your top 20 for that one.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from everyone. Carl Jupiter out there. Tears of drops of Jupiter in his hair down there in 21st position. Steve Warwick in 22nd. Lee James in 23rd with Remo Grand in 24th. Glenn McGrath in 25th. Sam Dooley 26th. Geitzman there in 27th. Ron goes bang with the tenner. Thank you, Ronnie. Can't say enough. You've owned shares in Sensational TV now. Josh Sadler in 28th and Conan finishing in 29th. We had a few casualties there in the final race, but I'll tell you what, they all kept it fairly mean and clean, to be honest, and now they're all doing doughies in the pit lane, so we'll get to a nice little vantage point where we can have a look at these guys celebrating the first round in style. So it was a fantastic turnout from all the drivers tonight. I am impressed. Hopefully all the viewers out there in viewer land and YouTube land are impressed as well. These little cars bring out some pretty good racing, Zach.
They definitely do. Cracking little cars, cracking fantasy cars. Imagine if they had these in real life. It would go off like a fish sandwich in the Sahara Desert, I can tell you that much. But beautiful round, opening round of Season 17. Wednesday Cup is strong. Competitors are strong out there. It doesn't matter of what skill set. They were all racing hammer and tong till the very end at this one. And it is round 1 out of 8 or 7, is it? 8, I can't remember.
7.
But, 7, sorry. And full on, ready to go. Fabian's come in with a super chat as well. $3 for him. Bang. Thank you very much. And he's saying sorry for the outburst. Well, we didn't hear that on the stream, Fabian, so you better apologise to everyone in the Discord chat there for that nonsense. But it's been a sensational event here, Christopher Munro. What a season opener. We've had 35 cars on the track. A few casualties nonetheless, but they will be back for the next round. And I'll tell you what, that next round is at Pukekohe next Wednesday.
Oh, so yeah.
That is going to be a rip snorter. Sub 1 minute, 20-odd laps, I would say. And it's going to be an absolute belter around that circuit. Quick, fast, furious, and a few overtaking opportunities as well. So from America over to the Sheepsheaga Island we go for next round. It's going to be fantastic to have it here on Sensational TV. I wish Rabs was here. Couldn't make it across from Tasmania in 3 days, but he'll be back next round. I'm telling you that one, over in the Kiwi Silver Fern land.
Yeah, he will be. I heard his visa got knocked back as well, so maybe he's got to stay within the Anzac realms of the world. So we'll see him in the Australian New Zealand rounds anyway. But maybe we can ship him in a shipping crate or something over to
in a pet box.
Yeah. We'll just feed him, poke some holes in it, and give him some reading material. He'll be fine all the way there. So
Rabs the rodent Warren.
Yeah, the rodent. Absolutely. That's a pretty big box you got there for a rat. Don't you worry about that. He's a good one. So, thank you everyone for tuning in again. We've been myself, Chris Munro. Just dreaming there as well. Zach O'Reilly in the comm box beside me. We are Sensational TV, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Wednesday Cup round 1 in season 17. That concludes the race and that concludes the coverage. So I'll hand it over to the man who is much better at signing off than I am. That's enough from me. So thank you very much.
Welcome, Christopher Munro. Pleasure to be here in the commentary box with you over here in Laguna Seca. We didn't die in between sessions with the dodgy shrimp coming your way. Thank you to everyone involved in the chat. Thank you to Steph Fitness in basically let's call her Steph Fitness. She's there. Brendan as well. Bill Cosmoricus in the chat. Ron Marshall and Fabian, thank you for your donations as well. Thank you to Gabrielle Carpanetti as well, involving yourself for the first time. Dino Hanley, Liam Hanley's involved. Rick Banachek's in there as well. And it's been a fantastic event to have you with us. We will see you guys here at Sensational TV in a week's time, which will be the next round of the Wednesday Cup. So don't you go anywhere. Keep that notification bell ticked for the next stream once it gets launched on Sensational TV's YouTube channel. But for now, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Click that notification bell because we are Sensational TV. Christopher Munro is himself. I'm Zach O'Reilly, and guess what? You're not. Until next time, though, as always, ladies and gentlemen, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.